Hello and welcome back to Own Your Beauty. Today's video is slightly different. I'm doing a kind of a get ready with me, and it is for, well, the makeup I did today was for an interview. I went to an interview recently and this was the face I wore. I was wearing a similar sort of jumper. It was just plain mustard rather than with a lace overlay, but I thought it was similar looking so it would get the same general gist. Quick update, unfortunately I got made redundant, so I'm now out on the job market again and sorting through all of that. If you follow the vlogs you'll already know this, but just so you're aware as well. But yes, got made redundant, and of course I went into a bit of shock and everything went a bit nah, but I am out the other side and it's been a few weeks now, so it's all settled in a bit more, and I thought it actually might be useful to do a series on prepping for interviews, how I would wear my face, possibly my hair. If you would like to see outfit ideas for interviews as well, please let me know. I'm aware not everybody's going to be in the same boat, so this doesn't apply to everybody, but this face could also be if just your normal average everyday work face, if you're not allowed to wear very much. Not that you're not allowed, but if it's not necessarily appropriate to wear loads of makeup to work. So this could be a good work face slash interview face slash I've got an important meeting and I just want to look nice without having to do anything, or if I'm meeting people for the first time, or various other, there are social occasions where you could wear this as well. You know, you just want a simple quick face. This is your face. No, this is my face. You know what I mean. So I'm going to stop rambling and we're now going to cut to me doing the faceness. Yay! Okay, catch up with you in a wee bit. So for primer I'm just using my Smashbox. This is the Colour Correct Adjust. So it's for redness and stuff. I'm a wee bit red of myself. Still got a few wee issues with scarring. Take a small amount. Rub it in. For foundation, because I would like a fuller coverage, just to give me a wee bit more confidence, I'm going in with the number 7 Beautifully Matte Foundation, and I am the shade Calico, which is the lightest shade I believe. So just a pump and a wee bit on the back of my hand. And I like to just place this all over my face, and particularly around my chin. And I'm taking an already damp, this is the Real Techniques Complexion Sponge, I believe. And I start around my nose and along my cheeks and apply that just in dabbing motions. Now for concealer I'm going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this is an NC15, and this is pretty decent kind of match to this foundation, and I take literally the smallest amount I can pump out. Pump is a pain, we've mentioned this before, and I like to just use my finger to warm it ever so slightly before I apply it, and I'm popping it on where I have most of my redness, and then just on either side of my nose, and the rest is just literally going around my chin area and stuff. I like to leave that to sit a wee minute before I use anything, you know, I do anything with it, just to kind of let it thicken a wee bit almost. For under my eyes I'm starting with the Collection Illuminating Touch concealer. I think it's a highlighting concealer, but you can see it's all worn off at this point. But yeah, I like to use this. And it's a twist up one. I've not actually done a review on this. If you'd like a review on it, let me know. So then I leave that sit a wee second, and I go back with my sponge and I use the pointy end again, and I just lightly dab the concealer, and you can see it's already helping to cover bits up. I'm going to leave these ones to the end. My nose. And then really lightly I'm going to dab these. And dab it around the edges, sort of blend that into the foundation. If you find that the sponge is taking your concealer off, what is good is to put some concealer on the back of your hand, use the tip, very lightly do that, dab it in wherever you need to, or use a really tiny brush. I do actually have, so like this brush from Real Techniques, it's the Pixel Point eyeliner brush. I use that for my spots. You can see some concealer on that from before, where it's just keeps coming off. If I use a sponge, use a tiny brush, and then use the tip of the sponge just to blend out the edges. Now back to under my eyes. And then I'm going in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is Chantilly. I'm not too purple today, which is good. And while that's sitting for a second, I'm going to take my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Not Pro Longwear Concealer, that's silly. It's the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And applying that as my base for my eyes. So this is actually the makeup I wore to a recent interview, and I thought I looked good, and you know that always makes the difference. If you look good, you have more confidence in your appearance, you generally have a wee bit more confidence in yourself, and I think the interview went well, touch wood, and I will know more hopefully by the end of next week. So this will be going up during the week at some point. This week, fingers crossed, I'll have heard something out. If you follow me on Twitter, you would know by now. Possibly, maybe. I have a second interview on Monday. So, fingers crossed. Now, so I've got all my concealer blended in. Sorry, I just used a sponge again to dab that in. And you can see it's lightened everything up a wee bit. I keep looking in the viewfinder, I'm very sorry, but it's just so I can give you some feedback on everything. And then I'm going to set under my eyes very lightly with the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. I can't seem to find this on the website anymore, so I'm not sure if they've stopped doing it or what. So if you know, let us know down below. But I quite like this as a wee setting powder, it does the job. And taking this I think is actually an eyeshadow brush, but it's quite dense, kind of fluffy of itself, and it's a nice shape. So it sits well. And you can see I'm actually just almost stamping it into my face. I'm only taking the smallest amount in the lid here and tapping off the excess, of course. So I'm almost just placing the powder. And then I'll set my I'll set my face using the MAC Forever Marilyn face powder, beauty powder, that's what it's called, excuse me. And it's slightly pinky toned, which this foundation needs a wee bit of, because I've got paler in the winter. My skin's reverting to more of a pinkier tone. I have quite a neutral skin tone, so I seem to shift undertones from summer to winter. Possibly. I could be making that up. Highly likely. Now, so face is pretty much in place at the minute. I've got my primer on my eyelids. For the eyes, I'm just using one palette. I'm using the Urban Decay Basics palette. Now you can use the Basics 2, whatever your skin tone is, suits you. I like this one. It's nice and neutral, and I don't want anything too over the top on my face. So I'm going to start with Foxy, which is this more yellow one. So taking Foxy, which is, as I said, the yellow tone one, and just applying that all over my lid, all the way up to the eyebrows. Then I'm going to take Faint, which is this more browny tone. Just because I'm wearing a mustardy yellowy top, I think Faint works better. And I'm taking a Real Techniques base shadow brush. So, and really lightly, I'm going into the crease. Really super lightly. You barely want to touch your skin. Well, for this anyway. And as you can see, it does deposit enough. You don't need very much. I'm literally just creating a shadow. It's not any kind of cut crease or anything crazy. Just this tiny shadow, and then blending it out as you go. Any kind of fluffy brush will do. And then I'm going back to Foxy, just with a another fluffy brush and just blending out the very tip of that crease. The very tip, no, the very top. That'll do. Then I'm going to take Venus, which is the more of the highlight colour, so you take whatever highlight shade you like, and I'm going to do just under the brows. So it just lifts them a wee bit. I'm not going to do around my tear ducts or anything because I'm trying to keep it really simple and just nice and clean and tidy. Now I'm taking Crave, which is the black shade, and I'm taking a flat liner brush. Car's making weird noises outside. And I'm pressing that, I'm not blinking, just blink there. Pressing that against the top lash line. And again, I'm not bringing it all the way into my inner tear duct, I'm just almost sort of, I've covered a good 90% of my lash line at the top, but not into the very tip, because I know from myself, if it's cold outside, if it's a bit windy, rainy, whatever else, if I have brought black shadow into my tear duct and I blink, it'll smudge down below because my eyes water quite a bit. So, and I don't want to use a proper pencil or anything waterproof because it's just a bit too full on, I think, for me anyway. So I just use a bit of black shadow and bring it most of the way, leaving that bit blank. That'll do. So that's what the eyes are looking like thus far. Really super simple. For my eyebrows, because I've changed my hair colour and whatever else, I've discovered Faint is actually a pretty good match for me at the minute. It's nice chocolatey brown, so brush the eyebrows through. And I'm kind of getting the hang of my eyebrows. I always try to arch them much more than they actually are, and it doesn't look right. I have, as you can see, pretty straight eyebrows. So I'm going to work with that from now on and just accept my eyebrows how they are and fill them in a wee bit. I like to start at the top. And a wee bit underneath because I have a wee tiny bald spot there. I don't know how I have a bald spot there, but my eyebrows seem to have the thick, almost dot and then long. And it's like, I don't know how this happened. That's just the way my brows are. And then bringing them along. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to just comb that through the front. So that's what my eyebrow shape is. I think it makes a difference. It looks a bit full on when it's like that. I do comb it through so it doesn't look quite as much, but I'll just go do my other eyebrow for now. And just to add a wee tiny bit more dimension, I'm using the Benefit Gimme Brow. Now this is in light, which is probably not ideal for me, but I'm just using it to add a bit of different colour to my brow. I don't know, I think it makes a difference. It may not actually make any difference, but I'm just doing it really lightly anyway. So brows done. Time to colour lashes. For mascara, I'm using my Jordana Best Volume Extreme Volumizing Mascara. Just testing this one out. I'm gradually working my way through my mascaras, which is good. And then I'm going to comb them through just with my metal lash comb, as always. Just to make sure I have a nice even spread. Eyes done. And I'm going to contour lightly with my NYX blush in Taupe and taking an angled contour blush brush. I'm not doing a massive amount, as you can see, just a wee touch. And then make sure and give it a wee blend up. I'm going to be putting blush over the top and I don't want to bring it down too much because then I look a bit hollow. So yeah, there's that done, nice and quick. For blush, because I am wearing warmer sort of autumnal tones, I think this blush actually works really well. It's NARS Orgasm, and I'm just using a stippling brush because I don't want to put on too much, but enough. And I'm actually going to just pounce it on the back of my hand just so I don't have too much, and starting at the back I'm bringing it forward onto my cheeks. And the good thing with this blush is that it adds a wee touch of highlight as well. so you're not going to be putting on piles of highlight, but it does add a nice sort of lift almost to your face. What do you think? That's on, that's on, that's on. I like to do this next actually, generally. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and I'm taking my beautiful big fluffy brush from Delium Tools. It's a 980, in case you're wondering. I love this brush so much. Just sweep that really lightly all over your face. Down the neck a wee bit, doesn't hurt either. I just like to blend it around here just to help things move a wee bit. Move a wee bit, blend a wee bit more into place. Lack of words today, I'm not sure what's going on. Now for lips, this is a really good one. It's the NARS pencil, satin lip pencil in Rickogen. I'm really bad with the name of that. It would be down below, you can check it out. And it's just a perfect daytime colour. It's that your lips but better kind of thing. If you really wanted, you could go in with a lip pencil and all that kind of jazz, but I am quite happy with it like that. Don't really need it. Don't think I need it with this because I just reapply it before I go directly into the interview. Finally, I'm taking my makeup setting spray. This is the De-Slick makeup setting spray with the grey lid from Urban Decay. Well sprayed, and that is it. Super simple, nothing too over the top. So I will zoom out, you can have a better look. Oh, I've not put in earrings. Anyway, so that's the general look of it. I, on the day, was wearing a mustardy top, which I think was a bit more appropriate. You could also, if you wanted to, wear your hair down. I wore my hair down for my interview. I just found the split. Make sure it's clean looking and whatever else. You don't have to necessarily wash it that day, but make sure it looks clean. And I then took side bits here and swept it back, so my hair was like that actually on the day, which I think is quite nice. It's, you know, it's still nice and professional looking and not messy looking, because there's nothing worse than turning up and, you know, looks like you've not washed your hair in a week and it's a mess. I'm just going to tie this up. So that's what my hair sort of looked like. I did use hair clips, so it was a bit flatter and easier to manage, but that was it. That was my face for my interview. But that is it. Nice and simple, nice and clean, professional looking, tidy looking, all the good things that you're supposed to do. So that is it. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please like if you liked, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!